The city in this poem is more than a place filled with traffic and buildings. At a busy crossing, music, memory, loneliness, friendship, and unexpected love meet for a moment. The poem follows people moving through ordinary streets and shows how the city keeps offering small discoveries, a song from a balcony, a stranger's bright eyes, a meeting at the crosswalk, and a new way to feel at home. Its generosity is often quiet, appearing in brief encounters that turn a familiar street into a place of possibility. At the corner of 6th and Broadway, downtown traffic moves with a familiar intensity. Even when the light turns green, the moment does not always feel simple or safe. The crossing becomes a symbol of hesitation. People must read the street, the crowd, and one another before they move. In the city, a small change of color can open a path, but it can also remind us how carefully people navigate shared spaces. A signal may change in a second, while trust and confidence often take much longer to build. Music escapes from an apartment balcony and changes the feeling of the street below. The poem connects this sound with the atmosphere of "Oh, Pretty Woman," turning an ordinary downtown scene into something warmer and more cinematic. The music does not stop the traffic, but it gives the passing people a shared moment. A city can create connection through sounds that travel beyond walls and reach strangers who may never speak. For a few seconds, separate lives become part of the same atmosphere, held together by a melody moving through the air. Teenagers meet before school, and the city becomes the background for small beginnings. Their meeting may seem routine, yet the poem treats it as part of the city's hidden generosity. A familiar cup, a remembered name, or a brief glance can make a crowded place feel personal. The streets hold thousands of stories at once, and some of the most important begin quietly, between people who were strangers only a moment before. The city gives them a setting in which recognition can grow, even when the rest of the crowd keeps moving. The poem imagines electricity moving through crooked streets and describes the city as a breathing atmosphere. This image makes the urban world feel alive, restless, and emotional. Roads are not only routes for vehicles, they carry energy, memories, voices, and possibilities. The city seems to inhale every encounter and exhale another story, proving that even concrete spaces can become full of movement and human feeling. Its buildings and roads form a living system shaped by everyone who enters, waits, listens, remembers, or chooses to keep walking. Sometimes people wait, look around, and decide that they do not like what they see. The poem allows them to turn around and walk another way. This movement represents more than changing direction. It suggests the freedom to question a path that no longer feels right. The city may be confusing or disappointing, but it keeps offering streets to explore, choices to make, and opportunities to begin again. Turning away is not always failure. It can be a thoughtful act of self-protection, curiosity, or courage. A new kind of light appears in a blink and a sigh, with flashes that seem to signal a direction. The city's technology and movement create a modern rhythm. While people continue looking straight ahead through a world of black and white, the image suggests that change can arrive suddenly, but it still depends on people who are willing to notice it and follow its signal. A new light can alter the mood of an entire street, turning uncertainty into motion and giving someone a reason to continue forward. The poem imagines every step falling into the heartbeats of a million lonely people. In a crowded city, loneliness and belonging can exist at the same time. People pass one another without knowing the stories they carry, yet their movements create a shared rhythm. The city gives by placing separate lives close enough to touch through a glance, a song, a crossing, or a moment of recognition. Even without a conversation, people can briefly share a direction, a feeling, or the knowledge that they are not moving through the world entirely alone. When the crosswalk ends, people meet unexpected strength. James Taylor, a small changemaker, an old love from a lasting family, or the new love of a home that keeps opening its doors. The city's generosity is not always dramatic. It appears in meetings, music, memory, courage, and the chance to feel less alone. That is why the city never stops giving. Every street can carry someone toward a new story. Its greatest gift is the possibility that an ordinary crossing may become the beginning of belonging, love, or change.